Hello all, Stacey the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to Demystify the Divine. So excited to be connecting with you guys this week. How's everyone doing with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, along with Mercury retrograde? I know for me, the way to describe this energy is super thick. It's not easy. It's like walking through quicksand. It's been very interesting in terms of the up and downness of it all. And feeling very much like one day I'm clear on my path. I know where I'm going. I know what needs to happen. And the next day it's like the sky is falling, right? And the tower, it's a tower moment kind of thing. I don't know if you guys have been having the same experiences, but it's been uncomfortable. It's been really, really uncomfortable. And I'm daily meditating and having conversations with my guides, being like, all right, WTF, let's get a move on with all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I would say, where's my cookie, right? Where's the reward for all the fruits of my labor? Ragu, may the force be with you and also with you. So it's tomorrow. Tomorrow is May the 4th. So I love that you're preemptive, you're proactive. So what I've been doing recently is tuning in for a theme of the week or a word of the week. And today when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about demystify and sort of, okay, what are the guides maybe wanting to talk about? I'm open, I'm clearing my energetic field. And what I got is that I needed to pull a card from a particular deck. So Keone is super busy doing a bunch of stuff. So he's not going to put it up on the screen, but I'm going to just share with you. This is a really cool deck called Threads of Fate. They're another Kickstarter program. Ironically, I didn't buy them through Kickstarter. I got them actually on a Facebook ad, but it's the Lumen edition. And so each card has, a keyword. And I was told that I needed to pull for this, I want to say this period of time that we are in. So our keyword is, the Explorer. Oh, I love this. And so you can see there's some holographic and some shiny on here. So this puts me in mind right away of the Wheel card in Tarot. So the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is how outside forces affect us. It's also about divine order and timing. So let me just go into my happy place and see what they want to share about the Explorer for us this week. Okay, it's time for us to shift our compasses, so our collective compass, as well as evaluating your individual compass. And I'm seeing that what they're doing is like true north isn't here, true north is here. So I feel like true north has kind of shifted. And we need to be aware of the shift. Where we're feeling pulled, where we're feeling drawn to, we need to not resist that. And even if it means that it's kind of pulling us off to the side a little bit, be in that off to the side for a moment, because there's a recalibration that's happening. I'm feeling very much that all of us on that collective level are being recalibrated. All of this crazy energy that we've just been talking about. And, of course, the eclipses, it's about, explosive, unexpected endings and things going, getting tossed out into the wind, never to return, because it's all there. We're in that release mode. I just did a YouTube short about it today, where it's like grabbing the dregs of what is left within us that we cannot take with us where we're going. It doesn't help us to go and grow. And so it's really about a realignment. So from a collective energy, we're all being sort of cleared out, right? We're being cleared out. We need to be able to clear things out because we are explorers and we are exploring a new frontier. We're exploring a new way of being. And so it's finding our new true north. And I'm hearing very clearly that true north for a long time has been associated with all things from the past. And that true north, that ultimate goal has shifted. It's changed. I talk a lot about our love-based society versus a fear-based society. We're moving more into that space of love. And that requires a different compass point. So the Explorer is coming up this week to encourage all of us, or this time period, to encourage all of us to go within on an individual level. We know that things are shifting collectively. How is it shifting for us individually? How can you be the explorer in your own life, exploring what your new true north is? And I feel like that it's not necessarily that true north needs to line up with the collective true north, but there needs to be I want to say, a common frequency with that. When I look at this card, the south is a heart shape and the north is the eye. So the third eye and the heart. So I feel like there's also a level of sort of balancing things out, the intuition being put out into the world through the heart space. And we need to be more intentional, I want to say, about that compass. Also, we could look at this not as a compass, but as sort of a mandala, a big sun, and what is the sun for all of us? The sun is something that we can count on every single day. It rises and it falls and it rises again. It provides heat and warmth and light, photosynthesis. It helps us with our food. It's life-giving. It can also be harsh. I talk about the light of truth. The sun is the light of truth. It can be harsh light. It can be softer light, revealing light. So I feel like what we want to be thinking about and considering in this particular time period, and wherever this reading lands with you, when you come across it, it's for you because there's a message in it for you. It's paying attention to where your heart is at, and are you allowing the intuition to be shared out into the world, and are you letting the sun give it life? Are you letting the sun shine its light of truth onto what you're bringing into the world? That is how you're going to find your true north. Wow. That's really, really interesting. So yeah, compass points. And our true north is not straight up and down any longer. It's a little bit off to the side. Sorry for the earthquake. We have Mr. Neo making his presence known. All right. So let's do some readings. I see Indu is waiting to come on board. I can't wait to see you.
Hi, Stacy.
Hey, how are you today?
Good. How are you? Hi,
I'm
Neo.
doing good. You're getting all sorts of Neo love today.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a card deck that you want to pull today, or do you
want
to
request you to pull a card for me? Actually, for someone who is very close to me, like a sister to me, she's having health challenges and she starts her treatment tomorrow. So just want to get a reading for her.
Yeah, and sort of send her some extra love, extra healing energy for sure. Okay. The warrior. So I feel like she has a lot of what I'm hearing in my mind is like prayer warriors. She's got a lot of people behind her, around her, in front of her that are sending her that positive energy, staying up, seeing her in the light. I also feel that she's going to fight this. She's going to fight. She wants to live. She wants to live healthily. She wants to live freely. She's going to fight. What's interesting about this is it's ram's horns. And the ram's horns are connected to Aries season. And we just came out of Aries season. This also is reminiscent of the Emperor in the tarot. And so it's really about birthright. She has the right to be here. She has the right to take up the space that she takes up on this planet and to breathe the air that she breathes. And I feel like for her, it's reconnecting with that truth, that core truth for her that is going to, I want to say, boot out of the body the foreign, what is not there to, and to be honest, it's serving her, because I feel like what's going on in her mind, it's almost like when things like this happen, it reminds us to really come back to the basics. What is the priority for me? And I feel like she was getting a little bit in the weeds about what her priority was, what needed to happen, what needed to occur. And this is really bringing it all into focus for her. What is important? I feel also like the struggle is going to be a bit up and down the first part of what this is for her. It's funny, this word keeps coming up: surrender, 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 surrender. It's been coming up for me for the last couple of months. Personally, it's been coming up in the last couple of weeks in card readings. Surrender. It's like, it's going to be rough until she gets into that space of, all right, I surrender to what is. Because there's a part of her warrior that is like, I'm not even going to let this sink in. Like, I'm not even going to let the weight of this sink in. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to connect in that way. That's not actually the way she wants to combat from this. She wants to acknowledge it because it's showing her something important about her priorities. And then she wants to, okay, now you need to go. You need to go somewhere else. So there's an internal alchemy that's happening here. And it's a very personal journey for her. Very, very personal journey. I don't even know that she's going to necessarily speak about it. But I feel very much that that's sort of where things are at. So the first part of it's going to be a little rough. But then when she gets into that space of, I surrender to what this is, and I'm still a warrior, but I'm the Wonder Woman warrior. I'm not the emperor. I'm more the empress, right? I fight differently. I stand up for what I believe in differently. I take what I need differently than the emperor. Okay, move your butt. Thank you so much. So definitely feeling a lot of that. I feel that there's going to be, I want to say, a happy ending is what I keep hearing to all of this. And there's going to be some deep wisdom that comes out of this particular journey for her. Yeah. So how you can support, I feel like it's keeping her in the light. It's seeing her happy and healthy and healed and whole. I would say to you as well, because I know you love to send Reiki out and work with the energy of Reiki. Send Reiki to the specifically affected area of her body.
Okay.
And I want to say concentrate on that.
Okay.
At the end of your session, when you're sending things to her, incorporate the heart and the mind, but really focus on the affected area for the majority of the time that you share the Reiki. Okay. That I feel is going to cut through the sword, right? It's going to cut through and cut out of the body what is not good there, okay. What needs to go.
Thank you, Stacey.
Absolutely. I'm sending you love. I'm sending her love. I'm sending all affected lots of love and healing and support. Everyone in the chat, I encourage you also to send her beautiful love and light. This is how we all can really support each other. And you get the earthquake. Neo is sending his love too. He's shaking things up.
Thank you.
Cat butt in the face. And there's the hand. Hi, you. Thanks so much for coming on. Sending you lots of love.
Thank you, Stacey.
See you later. Bren.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks so much for coming on. I think this is maybe the first time that we're getting to do a little face-to-face.
Oh, fun. I haven't personally been on here before.
So this is your first time? Awesome. Well, welcome. What can I do for you today? Do you have a question that you'd like me to ask, or just do a general card pull?
Okay, I know this sounds weird, but so, I'm 44, I'll be 45 in September, and I'm just feeling like the old me, like the young me, has shedded, where like now, like my middle-aged self is coming into play, but I honestly don't know who I am. And so this might be my midlife crisis. I don't know, because, the work that I used to do has now stopped, and now I'm trying to transition into something else. But that also means like my persona, my behaviors, just everything has changed. And so I'm a little lost, and I would love to know how like the cards would describe me. I couldn't even describe myself at this moment in time.
Absolutely. So what you're describing beautifully is the Phoenix, the major transformation that we all go through. We're always in some phase of the Phoenix, but it's a major transformation. It's that I'm not who I was. The Phoenix is burned down, but I have no idea who I'm becoming, and I'm in the messy middle. And the messy middle from a Phoenix phase perspective is you're in the Phoenix growing, which is the womb, and you're in the Phoenix emerging, which is the birth canal. So the womb is a really uncomfortable place. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at. I will pull cards for you, but I feel like that's kind of where you're at, because you don't really have a vision yet for who you're becoming, but the smoke and the ashes still haven't settled from what has burned away. And so really, when we're in that Phoenix growing phase, the tricky part about it is the surrendering and the receiving. Being in the means, okay, I have all my needs met right now. I don't know where I'm going and growing. I don't know what my purpose is. I'm not really sure what that's all going to look like. But it's also an opportunity for you to kind of recharge, to reflect on your previous chapters of life, reflect on all that you accomplished, and then to kind of sit in, what would I like to accomplish in this next chapter? Or the way you're kind of describing, it's not a chapter, it's a volume. I'm closing the volume on the first part of my life, or the first third of my life. And now I'm opening up into sort of this next third of my life, or next half, depending on how you want to look at it. And so it can be very tricky for us to surrender and just receive. And I feel like that's why you're feeling a bit lost, because you're also a person, I feel really strongly, you're a people pleaser. You're a doer. You're always wanting to be in service to others. So right now you don't really have anyone to be in service to, and it makes you really uncomfortable, because you're having to sit with yourself and say, well, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? Who would I like to become? Who might I like to serve? You're dealing with and grappling with this concept of choice. And I don't mean you haven't had choice, like this is the first time in your life that you've had choice, but it's the first time in your life that you have had, I want to say, no other distractions to keep making choice about you and for you. So that feels really big. So I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for you here. Oh yeah. Oh my God, girl, you don't know me, but I swear. So you can't make this shit up, is what I say. This is huge. Okay. So the first card I pulled for you is the void. And that's exactly what you're in. You're in the void. The void is the space between the breath. The void is if we think of the black hole, it's kind of that we don't know what's in there, because it's an absence of light, and we're used to seeing light and being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, or to know, what's coming up next, or where things are going. Here's what I feel the message is for you right now, is to embrace the void. Kind of like what I was talking about with the womb. You're percolating, you're gestating something, and it needs time. I always talk about the souffle. You can put all the ingredients into a souffle and put it in the oven. But if you keep opening that door, it takes 20 minutes, period, end of story. If you keep opening that door in that 20 minutes, what it's going to do, it's not going to speed up the process. What it's going to do is it's going to make the souffle flat. So it'll still taste good, but it's not going to live up to its fullest potential. So the void is an invitation for you to get comfortable with that lack of knowing. It's the mystery. Right? It's that unknown, because within the unknown is the potential for what you can become. And it's all about your choice. So that brings me to OMG, sovereign. So sovereign, or the sovereignty, it's again similar to what I was talking to with Indu's card. It's birthright. It's, I know that I am here for a reason. I'm my own king, or I'm my own queen. I run my own show. I don't have to ask for anybody's permission. to move forward and to do anything at all. So when we're talking about the void, it's like, I don't have to do anything. I can be. Kings and queens have other people do stuff for them, right? They're not the ones that are going out and doing it themselves. They decree it and people show up. They receive. And so I feel that this is another affirmation for you. It's another validation of, you don't have to do anything other than to tell the universe, all right, I don't know what you're cooking up for me, but let me manifest, let me co-create with you. Let me tell you some of the ingredients I would like to have in this next version of myself, or maybe it's help me to give myself permission to choose things in my life that are fun, to choose to have positive experiences, to choose to have experiences that really allow me to get to know this version of myself. And then that brings us to the third card that I pulled for you, is boundaries. How interesting. So I was talking about the people pleasing part of you. This is one of the things in this next volume that you're going to be working on and working towards on a personal level is energetic boundaries. How do I be in service and not allow all of the people around me to suck me dry, right? From my energy. How do I take responsibility for my own giving? Now that I've received and I've got a full and overflowing love cup, if I allow myself to be in the void and to receive, as the sovereign being that I am, now my love cup is full and overflowing. I need to maintain that full and overflowing. I do that with boundaries. Who is really worthy and deserving of the investment of my time and my energy? And maybe I don't always have to give 150% all the time. Maybe I can give 20%. Maybe I can give 30%. Maybe I go day to day based on how much is in my love cup. What do I need right now? I might only be able to give 2% to somebody because I need the rest for me. So it makes sense that you're really feeling a bit lost at the time. And I can tell you from a control freak, I am a tried and true control freak. The Phoenix growing phase, being in the womb, it's hard for me to just let go and not have a direction or focus, or this is what I'm doing. It's the actionable stuff, and to just be and float around and receive. But I can tell you, when I do surrender into that space and I allow myself to receive, it's super fun and it moves a lot more quickly. I get to quickly move through it into the Phoenix emerging, which also is not super fun, but at least there's more action and there's more push pull, but there is more action. There's more like gaining ground, so to speak, when you're in that Phoenix emerging. And it's typically, if we think about it from this perspective for you, yes, you're reflecting on the past and you're building the idea of who you want to become, but there's also this energy of what do I not want to bring into this next life? That's where the boundaries comes into the mix. What have I been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt on that I am not interested in having brought into this next volume of me? So really step into that energy of giving yourself permission to not have to be all things to all people. And the only person that you have to answer to is you. And you are the number one focus at this time. Also, just a little bit of sort of spidey sense guidance. I feel like you're going to be in this sort of Phoenix growing womb phase for about another 6 months or so. And I know that feels like, oh my God. What I want to say to you is, if you can get into that space of surrender and practice receiving, you're going to be full up and having all of the stored up energy that you're going to need for the Phoenix emerging, where there's a lot of that gain, because you have the vision and you're moving forward. You just don't quite know all of how it's going to look. So you're going to need that energy. So take advantage, soak it up while you can, because you're going to use it for later. So I hope that helps to give you a little bit of perspective on where you're at. I think these cards are just perfect for the situation that you're in. So that is really funny that those three came up.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on. Hope to see you again.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Take care. All right, Dawn. A little heavy week for me. Had some surgery yesterday. Now it's the waiting for test results to come back. A little scary. Got to get past this. Yeah, Dawn, my heart goes out to you. So I went through this recently in my own personal journey. So I have a personal knowledge of that space of fear that can creep in when you're waiting. You know, it's kind of the, am I in the clear, or is there something else that I have to go through and go into? So let me just sort of tune in and see what your guides have to offer in terms of how you can stay above the fray, so to speak. So it's really important for you. I keep hearing dancing. So now obviously you're recovering from surgery. So I don't feel like this is literal, but what I'm feeling is it's shifting the energy through the body, making sure that the energy is not getting stuck, especially in that one area, because you know, what we think about, what we concentrate on, we bring more attention to, right? We bring more of. So what you want to do is you kind of want to, I want to say, put on some really great music. And even while you're kind of recovering and lying in bed, if you're not moving the body, you're visualizing the body flowing. You're visualizing the music flowing through the body. Maybe you're moving your head. Maybe you're like me and you're, you know, sort of drumming on the steering wheel. I feel like a little bit of movement is going to help to keep your energy levels higher. And I keep hearing the word distraction. You need to find things that genuinely distract you from going into the fear space, because it's our ego, right? The monkey mind. It's the ego that is saying to you at this time, hey, we need to do this and this and this. And oh my God, there's this. And oh my God, there's that. And, you know, we go into places, the what ifs. You know, it's interesting. If we could use our imaginations to the intensity and the impact that we use it to go into those what ifs and those worst case scenarios for what we actually want, holy cannoli, this would be a very different world, right? So I feel like that's what your guides are wanting to come through for you, is use that fear and just shift it around. You know, it's using the energy to manifest the I am happy, I am healthy, I am healed, and I am whole. And there is no other, I will accept no other option, universe. Thank you for making it so, and so it is. And then distract the ego, distract the monkey mind. If TV is your thing, you know, you like a good show, pick one that you can really get into. I know there are a few shows that I have on my list that I haven't started yet, because I know sometimes my mind is going in 57 different directions, and I need something that I don't actually have to invest in. I don't have to pay attention to it so much, because I need to be doing other things, or my mind gets going in creative mode. So when I'm not in that space, when I can focus, or when I really need a distraction, I pick one of those shows that I know I can't do anything else. I can't be listening, playing on my phone, listening to different things. I can't be reading a book. I can't be typing or writing stuff. I need to be invested in the program in order to understand what's going on in the show. So find things that force you to go into another world, in essence. That I feel is going to really make a huge difference in this, I want to say, healing process that you're going through, if that makes any sense. So I hope that helps. I'm just going to pick one quick card for you, just because everybody got a card today. So we'll pick one quick card. Oh, yeah, I love it. The Wildling. So I feel like this is very much about the message to this is just make a choice. Choose to not entertain the ego. Choose to stay focused on the other path. Be the wildling. Do things differently. Go against the ego. Put the ego in its place, I feel is what this is about. And interesting that our message was with the explorer and finding your true north. Look at the similarity in these cards. There's also a circle, and those swords are kind of cutting through the circle. So it's, I want to say, cutting through the cycle and choosing a different path. So I hope that helps. Sending you lots of love, lots of healing. It's a test result thing for what it's worth. I'm not getting any like, ooh, I'm not sure how this is going to be. I actually feel very hopeful. I feel really good about what's coming up and coming through. So good luck with that. Oh, okay. I guess we're doing one more reading. So try. Let's tap into you. Let's see. Oh, try. We got the love card for you. I love the love. So what I'm really drawn to in this card for you today is actually the hands, open palms. It's interesting because we were just talking to Bren earlier about receiving. I feel like for you, it's receiving, receiving the love from someone else, receiving the accolades, open palms. So they're trying to come up with it. They're trying to come through with an analogy, and I'm just gonna be silent here for a second to try and understand what they're saying. So, okay, if you come at something, someone is offering you something, and you come at it, and you're like already gripping it, your hands are closed. So you might drop the item. You might only get half of a handful of what is being offered to you. If you show up with open palm, and someone can put the stuff in your palm, you're able to, I want to say, receive more. So I feel like for you, there's a real energy in the next couple of weeks for you to consider around, actually I'm hearing a month for you, to really consider where you stop, unintentionally stop yourself from getting all of it. Like, here's what I'm owed, here's what I'm worth, here's what I've asked for. Why do I always get half? Or why do I always get 3/4 and there's a little piece that's missing? I feel like what's coming through for you is look at your life and notice where maybe you're not going to what is being offered with open palms. Maybe you're going out after it and saying, okay, I'm going to take my thing, and the hand is already closed and it's limiting how much you can receive. Very interesting message. I also feel like for you this week, it's important to not be so hard on yourself from a mental perspective. I feel like you've had some emotional upheaval, especially the last 2 weeks. And you're putting on the brave face. I feel like you're really trying to show up and get beyond it, and you're doing your work. It's not like you're not, but I really feel here like perfectionism. It's like you're being asked to kind of let go of this idea that not everyone else needs to be right, but somehow the rules are different for me. I need to be right. I need to know what's going on at all times. I need to be on top of it. I need to be bringing my A game all the time. I feel like you want to stop being so hard on yourself and just be in that space of open palm. Something is coming your way. I feel like it's connected to work or connected to the way you contribute. So the way people see you out in the world based on what you offer. And I feel like it's going to take you a little bit by surprise when it comes up and comes through. But be open to receiving it. I feel like A, you're worth it. B, you're ready for it. And I feel like that's the issue. You're not sure if you're ready for whatever this brings. And again, I feel like it's work related. So it's not a relationship. It's not love. It feels like it's work related. And open palm, take it because you're ready. You may not think you're ready, but you're so ready for it. It wouldn't be showing up for you at this time if you weren't ready for it. Ask for extra help, or a little bit of extra time to understand the material, or shadow someone a little bit before you fully take on the role. Whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. But I'm hearing very, very clearly that you're ready for it. So trust that and say yes when it arises. I feel like about a month around that timing is where this is going to pop up. Thank you so much for submitting your question. Great to see you tonight. So thank you guys all so much for coming on. Sending everyone lots and lots of love, lots of support. We've got the lunar eclipse coming up in 2 days. So what do you need to know about that? It's not going to be as intense as the solar eclipse was during that particular energy, but it is going to shed light on some things that have been under the surface, things that have been shoved under the rug. So don't be surprised if there's a lot of shadow work that comes up, or, you know, past secrets, past things that you thought were buried for a while or have been buried. I'm hearing like family secrets and things may tend to come up over the next week or so. So I want to say, I don't want to say brace yourselves, but in essence, be prepared. You know, go with your eyes wide open. And when you do see, you know, unexpected things happening, you don't have to get scared about it. You can say, oh, well, this is part of that lunar eclipse. This is happening because this can no longer be in order for us to all get where we're trying to go. So it's happening on our behalf. So sending you guys lots and lots of love. If I can help you out in any way, feel free to book a reading. I do 30 and 60-minute readings. I also have some video readings and in email readings, guidance on the go. So if you're needing a little tune in or a little extra support, I would love to help you out with that. Check out my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. Sending you guys so much love, and we'll see you on the flip side in a couple of weeks. Ciao.